A woman walks up to a man and hands him a piece of candy. He then asked how much that candy cost and the woman tells him. He hands the money to the woman, but she said she didn't have change to give it back to the man. She then asks if he could go somewhere nearby so he can exchange the money, but the man says that she should have told him that before he bought it, as he only had that bill. He then said he couldn't do anything, but she tells the man that she needed that money so she could feed her daughter who was waiting for her at her house. The other man said he could pay for the man, but the woman says he could wait for her there, that she would be back soon with change. The man then says he wouldn't wait, and then he leaves. She runs after the man's car, but can't catch up with him. The other man then said that he didn't like the attitude of the man who planned to pay for the candy for the woman, but the man says that he didn't care that the money was very little. The other man then says that it was not a good attitude, because the man did not know about the woman's situation. He then apologizes to another man and tells him to eat the candy. Sometime later, the woman walks up to the man's car. She then taps the man in the ear and he tells her to stop it. She then apologizes to the man and asks if he remembered her, as he had bought candy from her and hadn't paid. He then apologizes to her and said he wanted to buy some more candy. She then hands ours to the man and he hands the money to her. She realizes that the man had only paid for what he had taken at that moment and asks where the rest of the money was. He then becomes enraged and says that he would no longer pay for the candy. He then starts to joke with the woman, tells her that he would no longer pay for the candy, makes her run after the money, but she ends up falling to the ground. The other man asks his friend why he did that, because last time, the man hadn't paid for the candy and now, he ended up causing the woman to fall to the ground. The man then tells his friend that he didn't care about it, because the woman deserved to suffer in life and he didn't care. The friend then says that he wouldn't say anything more to the man about it. Meanwhile, the woman was walking down the street trying to see if she had enough money to buy food. Sometime later, the man goes to his friend and asks him where the cell phone he had asked for was. The friend then said that unfortunately he would not be able to deliver a cell phone to the man, as he ended up needing to sell the cell phone to pay for the maintenance costs of his car. The man then said he couldn't believe it, but the friend tells the man to stop complaining about it. The friend then tells the man that he was joking and that he had bought him the phone. He asks the man to close his eyes and then he hands the phone to the man. When the man sees the phone, he says he couldn't use it. The friend then says that the man was getting something as a gift and was still complaining. He then asks whether or not the man would want the cell phone, but the man says that he could not use it, because that cell phone was too outdated and that he would not want it. The friend then says that the man should have thought better about what he ended up doing to the woman and that he shouldn't have done that, because the woman was in need of the money, just as the man needed the cell phone. The friend says that the man had caused the woman to fall to the ground and he did not go to her to help her. He says that it was a very bad thing to do, that he didn't believe the man had actually done it. The man then tells him that he was wrong to do that and that he would never do it again. The friend then says that the man should go after the woman to apologize for the mistake he made and try to make things right with her. The man said that his friend was right and that he would go after the woman to make amends for his mistake. The friend says that now all the man had to do was go after the woman and pay her what he owed. The man says he would do that and then says goodbye to his friend. As he leaves, the friend says that now he knew the man would do the right thing. He then goes after the woman, and when she sees the man, she asks him what he was doing there. He then says he was there to apologize to the woman. This surprises her. He said that the manner in which he had killed the woman was not right and that he wanted to apologize. He says he didn't pay for what he had bought and ended up causing her to hurt herself. He says he had no idea money was so important to the woman, but that even so, he shouldn't have done that to her. He said he wanted to apologize to her and say he would never do that again. She then tells him that he needn't worry as she forgave him and that his apology was enough. Eventual says he wanted to reward the woman. And then I hand her a lot of money. She said she couldn't accept that as it was so much more than he owed her, but he says he wanted to repay her for everything he did.